Hello everyone, welcome to our lesson on adjacent angles on a straight line. Adjacent angles on a straight line. Alright, what do we know about adjacent angles on a straight line? Okay, we know that adjacent angles on a straight line are supplementary. Okay, adjacent angles on a straight line are supplementary. Okay, remember that. Okay, adjacent angles on a straight line are supplementary. What do you mean by that? When you're saying angles are supplementary, they add up to what? Angles that add up to 180 degrees. Okay, supplementary angles add up to 180 degrees. And then now, if you look at this diagram here, we have angle X and angle Y. Okay, these are adjacent angles. How do we identify the adjacent angles? If you check, they are formed by intersecting lines. We have two lines here, AC and BD. These lines, they intersect, they meet here at the point B. So adjacent angles on a straight line have what we call a common vertex. So there is a common vertex. One, that's common vertex. And then the other thing, they have a common arm. Right, common arm. So adjacent angles on a straight line have a common vertex and a common arm. And then if you check, they form a letter Y. They form the letter Y. You see that? Okay, we have the letter Y that is formed there. And then we have angle X and angle Y. These are adjacent angles on a straight line. Adjacent means what? Adjacent means next to. These angles are next to each other. And then we're saying adjacent angles on a straight line are supplementary, meaning that adjacent angles on a straight line add up to 180 degrees. And then there is a reason that we write here. With the reason, the acceptable reason, we say adjacent, adj is enough. Adjacent angles on a straight line. Okay, this is enough to write straight line like that. Okay, this is an acceptable reason. We say adjacent angles on a straight line. Okay, right. And then now, if the adjacent angles are supplementary, then what does that mean? If the adjacent angles are supplementary, what does that mean? It means that the outer arms of these angles form a straight line. The outer arms of these angles form a straight line. Okay, what do I mean by that? Right, we have the arm BD, which is inside because it is between the arm BC and AB there. And then we have the arm BC, which is the outer arm. And then we have the arm AB, which is another outer arm. So if these two angles are supplementary, they add up to 180. It means that ABC is a straight line. So we're saying that if x plus y is 180 degrees, then ABC is a straight line. Okay, right. So remember that. Remember that. And then what reason do we write here? We're saying if x plus y is equal to 180 degrees, then ABC is a straight line. The reason we write is say adjacent angles supplementary. If the adjacent angles are supplementary, then the outer arms of these angles form a straight line. So remember these two reasons. Right, what did we say? We talked about this one here. We said that if the adjacent angles on a straight line are supplementary, so in a given a straight line, then the adjacent angles are what? Are supplementary. Okay, they add up to what? 280 degrees. And then this one, we're saying that if the adjacent angles are supplementary, then the outer arms of these angles are form what? Form a straight line. Just remember those two, okay? The one is the converse of the other. Right. Now, given the following diagram, verify if points A, B, C are on a straight line. Give a reason for your answer. Please try these questions before I show you the solution. Remember, you can pause the video and then you try the questions on your own. Okay. Right, let me show you the answer now. So now we have angle B1 and angle B2. We want to see that if we add these two angles, are we going to get 180 degrees? Let's see that. So it's angle B1 plus angle B2. Right, these are adjacent angles because they are sharing a common vertex and a common arm, and they are forming a Y shape here, a Y letter here. You see that? Okay, so which is equals to 143 degrees plus 36 degrees. And then this is 179 degrees. You see that? So this means that therefore ABC, ABC is not a straight line. It is not a straight line. Why? Because the adjacent angles, the arch angles are not supplementary. You see that? The adjacent angles are not supplementary. So ABC is not a straight line. Okay? Right. Let's move on to the next questions. I'm going to be giving questions. Maybe we've got 3 or 4 questions, and then please try to do them before you check the solutions. Now, this is another question. M, N, and O are points on a straight line. N1 is 114 degrees. Determine the size of N2. You can try this before I show you the solutions. Right. We are told that M, N, O are points on a straight line. And then if you check here, we're forming the Y shape. We're forming the Y shape. And then we have a common vertex. And then we have a common arm NP there. So it means N1 and N2 are adjacent angles on a straight line. So we're saying N1 plus N2 is equals to 180 degrees. N1 plus N2 is equal to 180 degrees. Remember every time we write statement and reason. Statement and reason. Before you do any calculations, statement and reason. So N1 plus N2 is equal to 180 degrees. The reason, adjacent angles on a straight line. Okay, right. You have your statement, you have your reason. Okay, and then we can start substituting and finding your N2. We're supposed to find N2. So N1 is 114 degrees. And then what do you do after that? We can transpose our 114 degrees becomes N2 is equals to 180 degrees minus 114 degrees. And then N2 is equals to 66 degrees. So we've managed to find that. Okay. So now in Euclidean geometry, you may be asked to find the numerical values of what? Of angles. And also sometimes you may be asked to find the size of angles in terms of variables. Like the next question I'm going to give you. Right, it says here, A, D, and B are points on a straight line. And then D1 is equal to X. Determine the size of any D2 in terms of X. Okay, can you try to do this one? It doesn't, we don't change anything. So here we have what? We have our common vertex, we have our common arm, and it means D1 and D2 are adjacent angles on a straight line. So meaning that these are adjacent angles on a straight line. So if we add D2 and D1, we must get 180 degrees. So we're saying D2 plus D1 is equal to 180 degrees, and then adjacent angles on a straight line. We have our statement and the reason. Please don't leave out the reasons. Don't leave out the reasons. Okay, it's always statement and reason. Now let's substitute. D1 is X, so we're putting D1 there. Let's find our D2 in terms of X. So what do? We subtract X from both sides of the equation, or we can say we're transposing We're bringing x to this side. It becomes minus x. So it's d2 is equals to 180 minus x. So this angle here is 180 degrees minus x. Done. Okay. Right. Are you ready to go to the next one, to do the next question? Let's try it. A, B, and C are points on a straight line. B2 is equals to 3x minus 20, and B1 is equals to x. Determine the size of x. So now, okay, do we have a straight line? We're told that A, B, C are points on a straight line. So we have our straight line here. We have our straight line, and then we have our common vertex for these two angles, B2 and B1. We have our common arm here. Do you see we're forming a Y shape? Okay, B2 and B1 are adjacent angles on a straight line. So if we add them, they must give us 180 degrees. Statement and reason. B1 plus B2 is equal to 180 degrees. We have our statement, we have our reason. Let's substitute our B1 and B2. We have this B1, actually B1 is the x, and then B2 is 3x minus 20. Right, what is the coefficient of this bracket here? Is 1. In front of this bracket is 1. Remember, 1 does not change anything when you are removing the brackets, when you are expanding. So it remains as 3x minus 20 plus x. You see that? And then 3x plus x is 4x minus 20 degrees is equals to 180 degrees. And then you can transpose and bring the negative 120. This side becomes positive 20. And then what is 180 plus 20 is 200. Okay. And then what do we do to get x? Because we have to find the size of x. We divide by 4 on both sides of the equation. We get 50 degrees. So we divide by 4, and then we divide by 4. Then we get x is equal to 50 degrees. So it means this one here is 50 degrees here. And then this one is going to be 3 times 50 degrees minus 20 degrees. 3 times 50 is 150. 150 minus 20, it means this B2 is 130 degrees. If you're asked to find the size of B2. You see that? Okay, perfect. But we just asked to find the size of X, so we leave our answer like that. A, B, C, and D are points on the circumference of a circle. AC is diameter. Identify two adjacent angles on a straight line. We want to find angles that will form a Y and share a common vertex and a common arm. Which angles are those? I can see this one clearly here. You see, this is a straight line. And then we have a Y there. You see, we have a Y there. There's a common vertex and a common arm. And then now it means O1 and O2 are adjacent angles on a straight line. You see that? Okay, we are done. We are going to meet in our next lesson. Thank you.